TGA nominations. Sparked a lot of opinions online for a couple things here or there. There was a video that John and I both watched by Alana Pierce, where she used to be on like the jury, quote unquote. And honestly, it was a really nice peek behind the curtain of stuff that we all pretty much knew, but it was nice to have that full clarity of where, hey, there's no actual jury. At no point does anyone sit down and talk about
No,
this.
it's
It's
just
just you send stuff in and it kind of gets like
yeah,
whatever.
it's just however many people get sent it, fill out their own personal list
Right.
and or what they think should be there, and it gets sent in, and whatever gets the most votes essentially is just what gets put in for nominations.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of further also detailed that like, hey, just stop taking it so serious. I know it's called like the Game Awards, but it's really for the shiny trailers. If you want actual
Oh yeah.
awards, look at like like she highlighted Dice for example, which is a good one. Golden Joystick, that's one that I like to follow. We always shout on the show. We'll shout out the winners for Golden Joystick stuff here later in the weekly wrap up. So it's like that's more of award
Yeah.
stuff.
Game awards for me is usually just
There for the trailers.
I'm there for the show. The awards kind of happen during it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's just who wins overall game of the year.
Yeah.
Because everything else is usually, well, in a lot of years for all the other stuff, they're just filling categories.
Yeah, they are.
It's like categories are there. It's like, okay, well, there's a clear winner in the category, and then there's some other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just with how the Game Awards is set up, right? It's marketed so heavy as this big celebration of gaming, and that is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
just,
is.
It's not. I mean, they do a big deal about giving out the awards and bringing them up to have their
Yeah.
speeches and that. It's not really an award show.
Right.
It's not built as an award show. It's built as a showcase that hands out awards during it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It almost to an extent, it's like I would love to see either Jeff actually build a legitimate jury, like an actual jury, and actually work on this, or just kind of rebrand the show, which obviously cannot happen. It's too big at this point. But it's like in like a hypothetical timeline, rebrand the show some capacity, because like it's not really the Game Awards to an extent. It's like the future of gaming featuring awards. I made sure not to say future game show because it's obviously already a thing. But like that's kind of just what it is. I mean, I'm definitely in the boat with you. I'm there for the trailers. We all are.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're gonna be this huge celebration of gaming and awards, and you're gonna brand yourself the Game Awards, I wish there was a little bit more care and legitimacy to the awards. Like just to some extent.
And granted, the video we watched that where she was talking about it, she said in the video she hadn't been. She hasn't
in
done
like
it
5 years.
in several years.
So it could be different now.
It's one where over time it could be getting a little more structure to it.
Yeah.
I find that kind of unlikely.
I mean, yeah,
but
me too.
but it is one where it's like as it gets bigger and bigger every year, there's every chance that they do try to make it a little more structured. Specifically because every year there's a little bit of backlash.
Yeah, no, every year there's every year there's always a snub, right? And obviously there are certain categories that are near impossible to get snubs in. Usually, like the game of the year is one that, for the most part, you're never going to see a notorious snub of where it's like, I cannot believe that's not in there, because like those are just universally highly acclaimed games, right?
Yeah.
This massive multi-publication jury that never communicate, apparently, they're going to all just agree, yeah, no, Xbox 33, one of the best games of the year, Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Kingdom Come. Like, they're all going to mutually agree on the obvious stuff. But it's always like those other categories where it's like, okay, well, what are we doing in this one particular one? What are we doing in this one particular one? Like, in terms of game of the year, I can't think of any like notorious snubs that's happened over the years. The only one that comes close that I can remember that a lot of people were heated about was probably Forza Horizon 5 a few years ago, because that was a weaker year for what was going to get into the game of the year, and that's one that like one of the highest rated games of the year. I know it's a racing game, but that was one that a lot of people thought should have been at least in the nominations. That's the only one I can think of. For the most part, game of the year is usually fine.
Yeah.
It's just everything else.
Yeah. It's a game of the year is usually good. Uh, this is also a year where we get 6 nominations, and this year we happen to have about 10 games that deserve to be
In the
in
conversation.
the conversation, and it's one where it's like we didn't really expect 2025 to be stacked
Right.
with like some all-timers,
Right.
but we got a bunch of all-timers this year.
I know.